Imagine waking up to the piercing shriek of a siren, a sound that cuts through the freezing air long before the sun even considers rising. This isn't just a rude awakening. It's the start of another day in Kolyma, the most notorious of the Soviet Gulag camps. A place often called the White Crematorium. Your body aches. Not from a good night's sleep, but from the gnawing cold that seeps into your very bones. You're crammed onto a wooden plank with dozens of other men. The warmth of their bodies a small, grim comfort against the Siberian frost. Breakfast is a meager affair. A small, hard piece of black bread, so dense it feels like a rock in your stomach, and a bowl of thin, watery gruel called balanda. It's barely enough to keep a child alive, let alone a man about to face 12 to 16 hours of brutal manual labor. But you eat it, every last drop, because you know that every calorie is a lottery ticket for surviving one more day. There are no choices here, only the grim reality of survival. Then comes the roll call. The povorka. You stand for what feels like hours in the biting wind. Your threadbare clothes offering little protection. The guards with their dogs and rifles count and recount, their faces impassive. A single miscount, a single missing person, and everyone suffers. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. This daily ritual is a constant reminder of your status. You are not a person. You are a number, an expendable resource in the state's vast machine. After the count, you're marched out to work. In the Kolyma region, that almost always meant one thing: gold mining. But this isn't the gold rush of adventure stories. This is hell on earth. You're handed a pickaxe, a shovel, and a wheelbarrow. The ground is frozen solid, permafrost that fights back with every swing. Your task is to dig, to break the unyielding earth, to haul heavy loads of rock and dirt until your muscles scream and your hands are raw and bleeding, even through thin gloves. The work quota, the norma, is deliberately, cruelly, impossibly high. It's a simple, brutal equation. Meet your quota and you get your full food ration. Fail to meet it and your already meager portion is cut. Fall behind consistently and you starve. It's a system designed to work you to death. Men around you drop from exhaustion, from malnutrition, from the sheer cold. Their bodies are often left where they fall until the end of the shift. There's no time for sentiment, no energy for grief. You just keep digging, your breath crystallizing in the air, your mind numb. The guards watch over you with a detached cruelty. A wrong move, a moment of rest, a perceived slight, and you could be beaten senseless or worse. They are the absolute masters of this frozen kingdom, and their power is arbitrary and total. But the guards aren't the only threat. Within the prisoner population, a vicious hierarchy exists. The blatni, or professional criminals, ruled the barracks. They were favored by the authorities to keep the politicals, the intellectuals, the artists, the engineers, the former party members like yourself, in line. These career criminals steal food, clothing, and any small possession you might have. They enforce their own brutal code of conduct. You learn quickly to be invisible, to not make eye contact, to give up what little you have without a fight. Resisting them is a death sentence, just a different kind than the one the state has given you. It's a constant, draining psychological war on top of the physical one. Lunch, if you can call it that, is brought to the worksite. Another bowl of watery soup, maybe with a fleck of fish floating in it if you're lucky. You gulp it down in the freezing cold, the metal of the spoon sticking to your lips. There's no rest, no warmth. Just a brief pause in the endless cycle of labor before it begins again. The sun, a pale, distant disk in the sky, offers no warmth, only a brief period of light before plunging you back into the long, dark Arctic afternoon. As you work, you think, can't stop the thoughts, even though they are a form of torture themselves. You think of your family. Are they safe? Do they even know you're alive? You were arrested in the middle of the night, denounced by a neighbor for a joke you told, a book you read, A 10-minute trial, no evidence. And a sentence of 10 years without the right of correspondence. You now know what that phrase really means. It means you've been erased. The march back to the camp in the evening is a death march for the exhausted. Men stumble and fall, and their comrades, barely able to stand themselves, struggle to drag them along. To be left behind is to freeze to death. Back in the barracks, there's another roll call, another chance for the guards to exert their power. Dinner is a repeat of breakfast. The same bread, the same gruel. You eat in silence, surrounded by the ghosts of men. Some stare blankly, their spirits broken. Others whisper in hushed tones, sharing rumors or memories of the world outside, a world that now seems like a distant dream. You try to hold on to those memories, the face of your wife, the laugh of your child. They are the only thing that keeps the spark of humanity alive inside you. The barracks are a cacophony of suffering. The stench of unwashed bodies, sickness, and despair is overwhelming. Men cough, moan, and cry out in their sleep from nightmares. Lice and bedbugs are a constant plague. Scurvy, dysentery, and typhus run rampant. The camp's infirmary is a joke. It's more of a waiting room for the morgue. Getting sick is often a one-way ticket. You learn to find small, almost microscopic, moments of defiance. Mending a tear in your jacket with a fishbone needle. Sharing a crumb of bread with a weaker comrade. Reciting a line of poetry in your head. These tiny acts are a rebellion against the system that wants to grind you into dust. They are your assertion that you are still human. Night falls, and an exhausted, dreamless sleep is a blessing that rarely comes. You lie on your wooden plank, listening to the wind howl outside. A sound like the wailing of all the souls lost to this place. You wonder if you'll see the sunrise. You wonder if you'll have the strength to lift the pickaxe tomorrow. You wonder if freedom is anything more than a word you once knew. In the Gulag, every day is a war for survival. A war against the cold, against hunger, against the guards, against the criminals, and ultimately against the despair that threatens to consume you. You don't live a life, you endure an existence, and you do it all over again the next day and the next, fueled by a single desperate hope that one day this will end, that one day you might just make it out alive. For the millions who didn't, this was their reality until their very last breath. Thanks for watching. If you found this glimpse into one of history's darkest chapters compelling, please consider subscribing for more deep dives into the past. Stay curious.